The last few years I've been going to Dorothy Swift's garden party, and everything looked terrific this year. These are some primroses that come up early. She has a shade garden from here to the water's edge, and it's always nice to run into friends here, and those were Tom Green's heels. She put in flagstone in amongst the mulch paths, which is very easy to maintain. It's got a little pond here, a little brook with rhododendron. Planting rhododendron, azaleas, and other shade plants under deciduous trees like we have here allows the plants to come out early. But when the shade trees leaf out, then the flowers are maintained because they're not wilted in the sun. So when plant tabs advocate for planting in the shade, it's a great idea. Especially peonies, which we won't see here. They really appreciate the longevity. As a matter of fact, some people will put umbrellas over peonies to maintain the flower. Dorothy has eminence at the University of Rhode Island. She's retired now. And they named a rhododendron after her, Dorothy Swift. And it's a lighter shade rhododendron, and she has one in her garden. We'll be seeing that shortly. I like the casual effect, very much like English country gardens, where you just meander around, and it's sort of an organic design. You just keep adding to it. And usually there's the Dorothy Swift. And usually you repeat some of the plants that you've already planted in the past. And then you might go a little crazy with something you really love. Here we see irises. They're not in bloom yet, but she has a beautiful collection of bearded iris, something to behold. And of course, we're earlier this year, but I've seen these iris in bloom. They're just breathtaking. There are some of the newer ones. Here's columbine, which I also have in my garden. And she got some unusual varieties of plants. That's the house, of course, in the background. This is a Japanese andrometer hybrid, recent hybrid. Andrometers, of course, come out red for the most part, then they fade to orange and then to yellow, and then the bloom appears. She has some 30 Christmas roses. Many of them are in bloom as we're looking at them. Sometimes they bloom early at Christmas time, obviously. Other times they bloom in May when we visited Dorothy. And a lot of rhododendron in bloom. Two of them, excuse me, are her namesake. She also has, which I don't have pictured here, a Daphne, which is a hard plant to find in these days, but it's an old favorite of a lot of gardeners like myself. Here she has some rather dainty primrose. She has a lot of primrose underneath. And of course, you can use these plants as ground covers. I like the idea that she has the mulch to discourage weeds because they could grow in the path more easily. And of course, she has mulch, older mulch, underneath the rhododendrons. And we're having a close-up here of one of the newer rhododendrons. And she has a gardener come in, and he has laid out, as you can see, some of the edging on the paths as well. So that was the visit to Dorothy's Swift's, and I guess we'll do one every year from now on. It's always a great pleasure for me to visit with my friends. Many of them belong to the Unitarian Church and go to the University of Rhode Island. That's Dorothy Swift's Garden Path. Thank you for touring with us.